Jak tam?
A dobre. A u was?
Jest okej.
No to cieszę się bardzo.
Marta, idziemy do pracy. So,
A mały idzie? Jedziecie do taty z mamą?
huh?
Jedziecie do taty z mamą?
No, I'm gonna go to my mom's house, to mama's dom.
Nie, do Marty? Czy
Tak.
do ciebie?
Yeah, I'm going. Marta też.
Aha.
Tak.
A mały?
Jackie.
Aha.
With Mama Ella.
Aha.
Tak.
Jasne.
Wakacja.
To Marta już u mamy?
Tak.
Tak.
Dobrze? I just have to be in there.
Postaram się. Postaram się, słuchaj, jak najbardziej.
Dziękuję.
Jakoś duszno.
No dobra. Jedziemy.
Pani Liliana. My name is Van der Puchert, and this is Finding Frequency. So Pani is lady, female, Mrs., Miss, not sure, but that's the female form. And Liliana is the name of the lady who comes in every so often to help us create order in our house. She's our housekeeper. And I got introduced to her a couple of years ago when I first came to Poland, and she's kind of been part of our family. She's been at our wedding, our Polish wedding, and she's been around. I mean, she's seen Francie grow from a little baby to the little terrorist that he is, and I wanted to dedicate this show to her today because there's one thing that I appreciate about Pani Liliana, and it's weird because it's also for me the extraordinary about her and seeing her every so often when she comes through here is that she's got a level of energy that not many of the folks in my immediate Polish family has. And she's this contrast, she's this whirlwind, this storm that rolls in from time to time just to inject energy into our home. And when she goes around cleaning things and sorting things out, she's quick to tell you off and moves things around. And she's quite aggressive as well in the sense of how she goes to work. She doesn't mess around. She doesn't waste time. I just enjoy her energy. And I must also admit that I don't get to speak to her that often. I can only express my gratitude and give a smile and then receive a smile back, and sometimes have a little bit of have a look at me and going like, I don't know what this guy is about. What is going on in his head? And sometimes she'll have a full-on conversation with me, end to end, and I don't know what the hell is going on. Like this morning again. She was asking me things, and I'm trying to explain to her that I'm going to my mother-in-law's house to work, and I need to get back at 3 for a meeting, and can I come work? And because when she's here, you vacate. You do not get in her way. And also interesting story. So, I mean, if you're not familiar with Eastern Europe and what's going on around here, Pani Liliana is not Polish. She's from the Ukraine. And we have a huge Ukrainian community here in Poland. And in fact, a lot of people are coming across the border to look for opportunities because things can become quite tough in the Ukraine. I mean, they're going through a growth phase, and you're probably familiar about all the tension there. However, I think the tension is only in certain parts of the country between the Ukraine and Russia. And that's also, forced them to look for opportunities where they can help their families. So I've also been able to meet and work with a lot of Ukrainian folks when I was still at the firm, talented people. And I'm just thinking now that in a way, I have quite a lot of Ukrainian friends. Thinking about Irina, who's been on the podcast before. I mean, in fact, she was one of the first people to send me a note. And one of the first people I met when I came to Poland the first time, also an Irina, is actually Ukrainian and now lives in Berlin doing some startup work there. She's a designer So it's so interesting to meet people and connect with people on this side of Europe, because Central Eastern Europe is a whole different hub of people and cultures and things going on. And it's always interesting to run into people. The one thing that's interesting also with Ukraine, and then also from time to time, but I must say I find it really hard to spot a Russian, is that there's also some Russian people around also coming through for work or traveling. And apparently there is a fair amount of people who come to Poland to have to come on holiday, because I understand that Russia is a little bit more expensive than Poland, for example. So we have a fair amount of Russians coming through. And I did get to meet a whole contingent of Russian colleagues when I was working at the firm here in Warsaw. But then I usually, when I go to a store or whatever, Marta will turn to me and say, "There's some Russians over there." So basically just recognizing them from their language, because once again, the Russian and Polish language is fundamentally different. And I made the mistake when I moved to Poland the first time to say to a Polish person, "So you guys speak Russian over here?" And I got a little bit of a raised eyebrow, because also the relations, not between the people, I would say, but politically, there's also a little bit of tension, because they're always worried. I mean, this is Poland. Because of the history, you're always worried that you're going to either get your ass kicked from the left side, Russia, or from the right side. I'm looking at it wrong. Sorry, my mental program is wrong. But anyway, you might get your ass kicked from the German side or from the Russian side based on history. So there's always a little bit of tension and history there. There's a lot of history, which makes this interesting. So I hope that this waffle was a little bit entertaining, at least. And it is really a hat tip to Pani Liliana, who comes around just to inject some energy into life. Thanks for listening.